Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you're located in the world. My name's Bernard Taliaferro. I'm the Vice President of Global Channels here at Rajant. I'd like to welcome you to Rajant's webinar introducing a brand new product we're calling LTE Enhance. Before we jump into this, I want to go through some quick housekeeping topics. First off, this webinar is being recorded and will be archived and posted to our various pages, allowing you and others to view it later. Also, currently we have everyone muted except our presenters, but rest assured that your questions are very important to us. We would really appreciate seeing your smiling faces and encourage you to, be completely interactive with the webinar session today. Um, we will have some question breaks during the webinar. Actually, we will likely pause for questions after each slide. Um, Also, there is the raise your hand button down in the dashboard at the bottom of the Zoom screen. So feel free to raise your hand if you have questions, and there will also be an opportunity where you can type questions in the chat box, and we will do our best to address each of those questions as we're going through the presentation, as well as at the end of the presentation during the formal Q&A session. So again, we'll do our best to get all of the questions answered. If there's a question that we can't answer right now on the webinar, we will go back, get the answers, and then we will send those answers out to everyone. So I want to introduce our main presenter for today, Rajant's product manager, Andrew Martin. Andrew has a background in industrial engineering as well as an MBA. He's worked in several industrial verticals. Andrew has been with Rajant since 2022 and is currently overseeing Rajant's current catalog of products as well as development of future Rajant offering. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to Andrew and also welcome Stephen Griggs, our VP of our sales engineering team, who will help as we go through this presentation, especially with some of the more technical questions. So Andrew, over to you.
All right, and thank you, Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the session today. I'm Andrew Martin, Director of Product Management here at Rajant. Today, I'm thrilled. I'm going to unveil a major addition to our product portfolio. It's Rajant's LTE Enhance, and it's an industrial-grade LTE modem. It's designed to elevate the performance and adaptability of both our kinetic mesh networks and the private LTE networks. Here's the agenda. I'm going to go through a bit about the problem statement of why we need LTE Enhance. I'm going to talk about the key features, go through just a few deployment scenarios. I'll hit a few highlights of our technical specs. And then I'm going to really talk about the value that some of our benefits bring for the product. And then we'll finish up with any additional questions and answers that I don't go through at the, I guess, with each slide. So let's start with the why. Industrial environments demand flexible, resilient, high bandwidth connectivity. And with that, LTE needs more flexibility to expand for reaching new or changing topology. Like in the diagram below, here you can see the LTE setup can't reach deep equipment or assets that are beyond the next mountain. LTE also needs more upload capacity for larger networks or high bandwidth applications like high resolution video. I know that some LTE networks are restricted to as little as 20 megabits upload speed for some private setups, and there's limitations with that. But then also with InstaMesh, we do need to have more options for backhauling data and to reduce congestion. On the diagram above, you can see as more mesh links need to be supported by just a few offload points, congestion can occur around those APT points. Now with LTE Enhance, it will bridge the private LTE infrastructure with our proven kinetic mesh technology, and I'll show you how in the coming slides. So here's what LTE Enhance brings to the table. Enhanced throughput, offloading data from the mesh to LTE relieves congestion. Dynamic path optimization, where InstaMesh finds the most efficient path, whether it be LTE or mesh. Resilient failover, seamlessly switching between LTE and mesh networks during blockages or outages. And then low latency, ideal for real-time operations like autonomous vehicles and surveillance. Centralized control, using BC Commander to manage LTE plus the mesh from one interface. And then scalable and rugged, because being deployed on vehicles, equipment, or fixed infrastructure, it all needs to work in the harshest environments. Now here's a diagram of the combined network, and I wish my mouse would highlight certain sections, but I think I can talk you through this. So as you can see on the left, the Rajant network is meshing with each breadcrumb and sending data to the APT master and then to the application. And that's kind of highlighted in blue. In addition, any of the breadcrumbs with LTE Enhance act as an additional backhaul point where they connect to any of the LTE towers and offload the data to the LAN network and then to the APT master and beyond. And that's kind of highlighted there in red. This has the effect of keeping InstaMesh networking free of congestion in crowded networks. And additionally, the overall network can expand into areas where the Rajant network can be mobile without needing to install additional LTE towers that are fixed. Now to note, the LTE Enhance modules, they're being paired here with breadcrumbs, such as a hawk or a sparrow. They don't work independently like a CPE modem, but they'll send data over the RPT link to a slipstream as the APT master and then to destination for the applications. So that's just a little bit more detail on what happens with this setup. And as I'm going through this, if you have additional questions, I'll be happy to work through them as we can talk through them in the diagrams or in the different slides. It's just so you can enter them into the chat as you need to. Wait, did I lose a page? No. The deployment scenarios. So LTE Enhance. It is ideal for several scenarios. Here's a short example list, but it's not a full list. It's not all inclusive. So when I think about mines or remote sites, they need to expand beyond LTE coverage without additional towers. They'll utilize the InstaMesh network as the LTE coverage drops. Similarly, supporting mobile nodes on vehicles for location tracking and connecting clients or client devices around the vehicle. And as InstaMesh coverage becomes thin, the LTE link can support those applications. Next, thinking about ports, as they need to ensure the network uptime in mission critical and teleremote operations. They will use this to ensure the application reliability is there, and that's regardless of a single network outage. Reducing fixed LTE infrastructure expansion for places like yards. This is because InstaMesh will cover those areas that LTE isn't set up to reach. And then the last one here on temporary or shifting operations in places like construction sites where infrastructure needs to be moved every couple of weeks. So here's a few highlights from the technical specs. You can just see a quick snapshot of them here. You can also download a full list of specs from our website. I've got a spec sheet uploaded there now. But as you can see, there's a fairly inclusive list of bands that the device supports. As for the data rates, it'll be Cat 12 for downlink and Cat 13 for uplink. That uplink would be up to 150 megabits per second, but do keep in mind that would be gated by what the LTE network is capable of supporting. So that would be part of a bigger solution on the full LTE setup. And then the antenna, the antennas are set up to be a 2x2 MIMO. So that's done with 2 antenna connectors on the device, and they're both Type N connectors. For the device itself, for the physicals, it's about a 4x6-inch device. In fact, I have it within reach here. It's on my table, but I can I have one nearby. I can show you all for the physical sizes if you need to. The enclosure itself, it's built to be industrial grade. It's built to be rugged for some of the harsh environments that Rajant goes to, and that includes being IP67 waterproof. And then its temperature specs are all the way down to -40 and up to 70 C. And then here, I wanted to spend a little time in talking about the value. And as we've talked about a little bit earlier, there's definitely the different benefits of using this product, but I want to dig into the value that the solution brings. And so that to me is talking dollars and cents. So on the first one here, enhancing Rajant network performance. As we're leveraging LTE towers as backhaul nodes, and we're reducing congestion on the mesh, the value is that it results in higher reliability, faster response times for critical operations, and saving time and increasing productivity of the applications that are running. And that's a benefit we want to be, I guess, really highlighting. Second is optimizing existing LTE networks. Dynamic traffic distribution ensures efficient use of the LTE bandwidth. Before this solution, you would have just the LTE core and the CPE equipment. Each CPE would have a cap of upload throughput. But after, with this solution, combining LTE and Rajant mesh, now your upload throughput can be distributed across several breadcrumbs, and with those with LTE Enhance will be loading to the LTE tower, but also the Rajant network will be routing traffic directly to the mesh, or directly from the mesh to the LAN. And the value here is really maximizing the LTE infrastructure investment, reducing CapEx costs, and increasing the return on investment for what's been already put out there or outlaid for the equipment so far. Third is improving LTE for flexible deployment scenarios. As we add the mesh capability to LTE, it allows the network to adapt to changing physical shape of the network areas. That'd be the network geography is expanding or the topology is changing. So before the solution with just LTE, there's an extensive engineering work that would go into moving or adding an LTE tower. But afterwards, with LTE and mesh, the mesh will allow the networks to adapt automatically to the changing geography, such as a mountain being removed, a container stack being created, or a wall installed. The value here is, again, making this ideal for temporary or regularly changing installations. It can be across really any industry, and it's going to reduce the setup time, save on those infrastructure costs, and increase your scalability across the size of your network and the range that it covers. The fourth one, improving reliability of the LTE network. The mesh and LTE here, it's a dual network. So LTE and mesh are running in parallel. And the value here is reducing downtime and ensuring these nonstop operations for critical applications. So customers, they can save time by maintaining operational efficiency, preventing the revenue loss of shutting down an operation, and really making sure that you never have communication failures. There's a real value for the customers that can't tolerate any downtime in their network. The next one, the fifth, is simplified network management. So managing LTE and the mesh network equipment all through BC Commander. It saves time, it reduces training costs. This is instead of having an off-the-shelf modem that needs to be managed separately from everything else. And the value is streamlining the training, improving the staff efficiency, and freeing up those resources for other priorities that the customers, the partners, you're always struggling for how much time you have for any operation and really any given site. And then this last one here, it's definitely not least. I think this is a important one to really highlight. We're enhancing the functionality of a variety of breadcrumbs. The LTE functionality is being able to be added to new or existing breadcrumbs. So that includes the Hawk, the Sparrow, the ES1, but also the ME4 and the LX5, some of our legacy breadcrumbs. So really, there's a lot of value that now the networks can get a great upgrade in functionality without designing a full upgrade of all new breadcrumb equipment. And there's a lot to be said there for giving your existing breadcrumbs a new set of capabilities without investing in all new. I think I went through all the general topics I wanted to for right now, but is there some questions we can go through and discuss what I was saying here in the different pages? I do think I see one here. Erdal, would you like to ask your question? I guess to go off mute and ask it to everybody.
I'm sorry, did you say something to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I see your question here. Would you like to say it, and then I'll speak with you together.
Okay, I have actually written the question. So we have Perepini actually. I think it has the same functionality almost, but is Enhance being offered as an alternative to this one? This was my question.
Yeah, and so the Peregrine LTE, we've got two versions of that, and we are going to offer this in addition to those Peregrine models. That is still a very good product. The Peregrine, of course, has additional radios. The Peregrine LTE has 3 radios for meshing, and then the fourth radio is set up for LTE. And so that's still our most capable device. This LTE Enhance would be an alternative for let's say some of the other setups. Maybe if you had it on a Sparrow, you'd have 2 meshing radios, and then this would be the LTE radio to add to it. So not quite as capable as the Peregrine, but a decent alternative for some of those other networks that don't need all the other features.
Yes, thank you.
It looks like we got a question here from Brian Mullenbach of Connectronics. Brian, you want to come off of mute?
Hey, Andrew, thank you for that information. Just wondering, is this all like 4G LTE based, or what's the roadmap for the 5G side of things?
Yes, this is on the 4G LTE. We already do have a another product that is in the works for the next generation for 5G, and that's stuff that I'll be excited to be announcing. I guess in maybe in a few months from now. But that's absolutely on a roadmap that I've been working hard to make sure we have a next generation plan.
Okay, thanks.
And then we've got a question here from Andrew Moss. Andrew, please feel free to come off of mute and ask your question.
Just as written, is this practical to be used in a mobile environment?
Mobile, yes. It's meant to be hardy, rugged. We test it to Rajant's the shock and vibe profiles that we set up for for all of our mobile equipment. It's something that I do want to put some bounds around it. We do have some extreme environments that we've been I guess elevating some of our Peregrine units to recently. This hasn't been tested to that yet, but it has been looked at as a good rugged device for mobile setups.
Okay, well that's good to know. I was just thinking maybe the term I should use is mobile insofar as moving around, because I think your diagram showed it as a fixed deployment.
Oh yes, well thank you for looking at that, because it's something I do expect to be on moving trucks, moving machines.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely not just a infrastructure point.
Very good. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
And then Yoni, I see your question here. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Again, we've got Andrew and we've also got Stephen Griggs on.
Okay, good. What is the key difference compared to current hybrid setups? Meaning normally when we are using third-party routers paired with breadcrumbs. So what's kind of like additional benefit this Enhanced device will give for that?
So I guess one thing is that this is more of a modem than it is a router. So this will work with the breadcrumbs. It does plug into the USB port for its communication. It won't tie up any of the Ethernet ports for being able to. I guess that would be something that works like a normal router would. And we are configuring this and setting this up all through BC Commander. So it's really a seamless view of seeing all the controls all under one hood. I think that's some of the differences. Of course, we want this to work as easily as your customers expect your regular cell or LTE equipment to work. So we're trying to not make too many differences that make it unfamiliar for what's already being used.
Okay, thank you.
And a couple more questions still listed here. Got a question here from Mark Mute. If I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, but please come off of mute and ask your question live.
Thank you. I was kind of asking the LTE Enhance, is it flexible for other brands of 4G? Like in our region, mostly Cat 12, Cat 13 goes to 700 to 800 megahertz, but also we have Cat 20, 21, 22. So is it viable?
So as we do have a lot of different bands, and we have bands up all the way up to like 48 and 66. Those are, I guess those are higher frequency. We also have a LTE antenna that we recommend with this, and that is a wideband antenna. So that is going to be something, because you are going to be covering a lot of different bands that potentially can connect to.
Thank you.
And then right now, I see one last question from Diego. Diego, feel free to jump off, and some more questions just came in after that. So Diego, go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I hear that you use the USB port to connect both the module with the breadcrumb. So what happens if I want to use a GPS? We have still a USB port to connect a GPS in the new module?
So there's two things happening. For right now, the device, you would need a GPS hub to add in this plus the GPS. So that's it.
USB hub.
Say again?
Sorry about that. USB hub.
Oh, thank you. A USB hub. But the second thing that I don't want to overhype it and put too much, I guess, talk about future work with this. But we're going to release a firmware update for this in the future that you'll be able to use this device to actually get GPS coordinates through it. So we are working to enhance this device for that. That will be a future release. It'll be a firmware release to upgrade this device. And so in those cases, then you won't need a second GPS receiver. This device will do both without, I guess, need for any additional equipment.
Hey, Andrew, can I bring something up real quick?
Oh, yes.
One of the things, we're talking about interconnecting with some of these, some of our, our legacy breadcrumbs. The one thing that's important to note here is that there's PoE pass-through with this device. So you're not using two different PoEs. This can be powered up with 24, 48 volts or 56. You just want to make sure that you have enough. This device, this LTE Enhance device, draws about 19 watts or so. So you want to make sure that whatever you're powering it up with has enough juice to power both that unit and the breadcrumb unit. So you're not having to use redundant PoEs or separate PoEs or things like that. You can power up the breadcrumb from the LTE Enhance device and only have one PoE device. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
Yeah, thank you. That is right.
And we've got, looks like I have two more questions, and then we will take it offline and be sure to get answers to any additional questions. There's another question here from Yoni. Go ahead. Actually, two questions from Yoni. So go ahead with both of those.
Yeah, noticed that P38 and P39 were not supported on this. Any plans to bring these also available, as these are the private bands, at least in Nordics, for LTE use, especially on the mines?
38 and 39. Let me get back to you on our what our next generation modem has in it. We are working with a next generation one that has a lot more bands, and it'll also have the 5G bands that are also available.
Yeah.
I will check on 38 and 39.
Yeah. And another question what I had is what's the approx price for this device?
Yes. I guess the MSRP on the device is $2,200, and then the partner discounts then apply to that for the different partner levels.
Actually, I'd love to add to that really quickly. So I do have the part number, and so I will be updating the price book, our CRM, and getting that information out to the channel as early as today.
Hey guys, real quick, I need to correct a prior statement I just made. The LTE Enhanced device does not draw 19 watts. It is 5 watts. 5 watts.
That
One
is
of our
max.
engineers, he corrected me. So I'm sorry for that misunderstanding, but 5 watts. So it makes powering both up a whole lot easier.
Yeah, well, Stevens 19 watt is that's a common number to power both a typical breadcrumb and the LTE Enhance box.
One final thing, I'd love to direct everyone to the chat box. You will see an entry in the chat box next to the bottom entry. Actually, there is a link. It says here, after the session, please visit, and then there's a URL there where there is a wealth of information about the LTE Enhance module and brochures and so forth, so on. So please take advantage of that. Click that link, bookmark it, save it so that you'll be able to learn more about it. And I think there are no more questions there. Before we close, any final things, Andrew or Stephen?
Andrew, did you talk about the price point?
We just mentioned it a second ago.
Okay.
Yes, and yeah, I will. I'm going to be working with Bernard. He's going to get the price list out to everybody on this. Any order information that will go along with that.
Perfect.
Another really good question just came in from Brian Ellis. You want to go ahead and ask that question before we wrap up, Brian?
Yeah, it was hard to tell from the pictures. Is that a plastic enclosure or is that aluminum?
Actually, it's a aluminum enclosure.
Okay.
So it's just aluminum with black anodize on the outside.
And have there been any mounting brackets or anything designed for that yet, or does it utilize any existing mounts that you already have?
It will work with the universal mount, but I will be working with the team on if there's any special or customary brackets that come up that are needed.
Okay.
We are seeking feedback from the field if there's partners that need it in a particular mounting way. So yeah, do keep us informed if you need it for pole mount or if you need it for other things. We're keeping a close eye.
One other side aspect to it, how is the USB connection from the Enhance done over to the breadcrumb? Is there an M8 panel mount on the Enhance, or is it a integrated cable that comes out of it?
Yeah, it comes with the USB cable, and it is a M12 connector on the side of the LTE Enhance. So you'll plug in the that cable to the this circular M12 connector, and then over to the USB on the other side.
Okay, so it's an M12 USB.
Yeah, it's M12. It's an M12 A code, Brian.
M12 A code. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Male or female?
Female. Is it male?
I think it's male. I'm sorry, I think it's female.
Later, so
the cable is female.
Cable's female. Okay.
Thank you, Keith.
And I promise you, all right, this is the last one we're going to do live, but this question from Mike kind of expands on the conversation that was taking place right now about the USB. So Mike, please come off of mute and add your inquiry to the conversation that was just taking place.
Yeah, I guess without seeing the device on the slide, I don't know if it was rotated or all, but some of the devices have a traditional USB type plug, and especially I think it's the Sparrow that we've been using, and it's very hard to weatherproof it. So I'm just wondering if this is a traditional USB or if it's some sort of a thread on where we can keep moisture out easier.
So it's it's a USB A code, M12 A code, and it is threaded, so it's a bit easier to weatherproof. And also on the other end is the USB A, I believe, And it's also got a gland on it as well, so that makes it easy to weatherproof on the breadcrumb side.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So they're all military connectors across, or just circular connectors across it. The USB is there with the 4 pins, A code, and on the bottom you'll see the US or the Ethernet cables. These are X code M12 that you have in and out for PoE power. If you need to, like Stephen was saying, if you need to also power the breadcrumb, there's one for powering the device, one for powering, I guess, the breadcrumb beyond it.
So I'm going to ask Stephen to wrap things up for us on this, but we will document all of the questions and send all of the answers out to everyone. And so Stephen, Andrew, you guys can kind of take us away and close us out.
Well, I mean, speaking for myself, and I guess Andrew and Bernard,
Sure.
thank you everybody for attending. We slotted this thing for an hour, but it's nice to get under it. We don't have to stay here for an hour. We hope you found this presentation useful and informative. This is some new exciting technology that Rajant's bringing to market. And for those of you who know Rajant, we try to keep things cutting edge and keep our kinetic mesh implementations on the cutting edge of technology. So thank you for everybody for your attendance. And if there are any questions afterwards, don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Rajant. And for those that have any concerns or whatever, feel free to contact me directly. I'm happy to take questions and emails and such. So with that,
Yeah.
bid you guys adieu.
And I would say likewise for reaching out. But just don't forget that if you visit our website and you can see the landing page, there'll be additional features and benefits listed there. There's more content that just went up on our website that you can see about the product for more information. Thank you, guys.